Hi, America. My name's John Heinrichs, and I'm a pastor in San Diego. And I want to talk to Christians about why this election is the easiest decision that we've ever had to make as Christians. I'm 41 years old, and over the last 20 plus years, I can't think of an easier election to make a decision than this one happening right now. And before I move forward, I want to just let you know that this is not a video on behalf of my church. It's not a video on behalf of my pastors. It is a video on behalf of me, John Heinrichs. I love America, and I'm a Christian in this nation wanting to see America return to its Christian biblical foundation, return to the Constitution. The greatest country, the greatest superpower in the world was birthed in Christianity, and we've been moving away from God. We got to move back towards God. And so it's on just behalf of myself. I want to encourage Christians to get out there and vote. The last election, 25 million Christians didn't vote. And it was an election that was decided by just 4 million votes. So we have to engage in culture. If we want to see change, we got to engage. I know that Jesus isn't on the ballot, and that's kind of confusing to some Christians, but it's okay. We have to make a decision, and we have to make a tough decision. And I want to tell you why I think it's not a tough decision. It's an easy decision. So there's a few reasons why. Number one is the sanctity of life. I believe as Christians, we cannot compromise and we cannot negotiate on this issue. As Christians, we believe that life starts at conception. In fact, I would even argue that God would see life starting before conception. In Jeremiah 1, it says that he knew us before he formed us in the womb. In other words, he knew what your future was going to be like. He knew what your smile was going to be like. He knew what your personality was going to be like. He knew you, the Bible says, before he formed you in the womb. So we can't compromise on the sanctity of life. We have a candidate right now who believes abortion should be legal, who believes in late-term partial birth abortions, which is absolutely disgusting. I can't even believe people would consider voting for this candidate based on that statement alone. This candidate believes in upholding Roe v. Wade, which is what made abortion constitutional. And so we cannot have that as Christians. One candidate doesn't believe in abortion, is pro-life, and the other one is pro-choice. And so we have to be able to make that distinction and not get confused by terms like women's health rights and women's rights to make decisions based on their own body. Because if it was their own body, then they would be the ones that were murdered, not the baby inside their bodies. And so we have to be able to make that distinction. The second thing that we can't compromise on as Christians is marriage. The Bible says that marriage is between a man and a woman. In fact, the very word marriage is talking about a man and a woman coming together. And then God says, be fruitful and multiply. The only way that you can multiply is to have a man and a woman together. And so the same people that are pro-abortion are pro-marriage equality is what they call it, which means anybody can marry anybody, a man and a man, a woman and a woman, and marriage is based on a man and a woman. And so we can't compromise on life. You know, Ronald Reagan said, it's interesting that everybody that is for abortion is already alive. It's a powerful statement. Those that are anti-life have themselves been given the right to live. And then marriage. We have to understand that the best foundation for a family is for a man and a woman to be together. We can't compromise on the sanctity of life. We can't compromise on marriage and family. And the third thing that we need to look at, if you still can't decide on who to vote for in this election, we have to look at the Supreme Court justice. Over the next 4 years, there will be between 2 and possibly 4 seats available on the Supreme Court. And the next president will have the opportunity to nominate who those justices will be. We have one candidate that wants to appoint very liberal justices that will uphold Roe v. Wade, will uphold, marriage equality and other decisions. And we have one that wants to overturn those things and values the sanctity of life and values marriage. I got to tell you, the Supreme Court justice decisions is a reason in it by itself to make us take a serious look at this election. Roe v. Wade, which since 1973 has terminated 57 plus million pregnancies, was decided by the Supreme Court. Who knows what the next landmark decision is going to be in America? And the next president is going to have that opportunity to appoint those people who have lifetime terms. It's not a 4-year term. It's not an 8-year term. It's lifetime terms. So we need to be smart as Christians. We can't compromise on those things. Let's make a tough decision. Some of you might think it's a tough decision. I'm telling you, it is an easy decision. And I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but I will tell you this. I want to make America great again, and I hope you do too. God bless you.